If you've been around the channel for a while now, you've probably seen a trend in the games I play. High fantasy games rooted in the lore of the gods have always captured my attention. Doesn't matter if they're base builders, story-driven RPGs, high-action combat games, or deck-building roguelites. I'm so captured by the topic that every new experience brings me a refreshed joy for it, and I'm happy to say that the game we're showcasing today was no different. Hi, my name's Lil, and this is my review of Roots of YGGDRASIL. For those that haven't heard of it, Roots of YGGDRASIL is a deck-building, world-building roguelite. It offers the same wonderful gameplay loop that titles such as Slay the Spire do, but brings in the roguelite elements that shine through in your hub buildings and improvements. Instead of losing all your progress after each loop, you're simply returned to your world hub with new supplies and cards to obtain, as well as upgrades to choose from. As someone who's always struggled with the deck builder genre, I found a ton of enjoyment with this one, and I'll tell you why. Games like Slay the Spire, while incredible to some, are hard for me to get into. The lack of progression and the lose it all if you fail type of games just don't appeal to me. I like obtaining shiny trinkets after my adventures and having something to prove that I didn't just waste an hour of my time. And while yes, they offer minor amounts of progression, sometimes that's just not enough. Roots of YGGDRASIL balanced the typical roguelike gameplay loop with enough upgrades after each run to make it feel like it was worth my time and effort. That isn't really what drew me into this title though, as simply adding a progression system doesn't always do it for me. What sucked me in was the fact that on our first loop, we got to meet the Weavers of Fate and got a fancy new artifact that improved our adventures, and as we continued through the world, the Rat of the World Tree himself stopped us in our tracks to tell us about the effects of Ragnarok. The lore and story that was brewed into this game beautifully kept me intrigued enough to try out a genre I would normally pass over, and maintained my interest to the point of sharing it with Ducky. You know it's a fun time if you start sharing it with others. Touching on the gameplay elements, what was particularly interesting about the loop was that instead of your typical card battle mechanics, it was a base building sim rooted in the deck builder aspects. Get new cards to build houses, grow your supplies, harvest magical energies, or build up your troops to explore new portions of the map, and take care of any threats that might stand between you and harvesting the acorns of the magical trees in the area. In fact, just to leave each zone, you'll need to collect a specific amount of these little acorns, so make sure you're prioritizing expansion and discovery and not getting too comfortable. After all, the goal isn't to get cozy, it's to help stop the devastation of the world. After you've completed a loop, by either reaching its current end or by running out of time and resources, all of your collected acorns and supplies will be taken back with you to, as I stated earlier, upgrade your hub in order to make each round easier and the possibility of reaching the top of the tree that much more possible. All in all, the game nailed the story aspects, and I adored the hand-drawn graphic style. The ambiance and music completed the package with a pretty little bow on top. When a game like this can suck me into a genre I don't normally enjoy, it's always a win in my book. Obviously, this game is still in early access, so I won't be giving it a rating today. But I will say that it's worth adding to your wishlist at least, and if you enjoy an EA experience and want to support the development, then consider adding it to your Steam library. That's going to be it for this review, but please make sure to leave the video a like if you enjoyed, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you go, as it's the best way to constantly discover new games. Lastly, we'd like to give a big shout out to the devs for allowing us to check this one out ahead of its release. We enjoyed it and can't wait to see what's in store for the future. With that, we'll say thanks for watching, and until next time.